Greetings everyone, Captain Clayface here with another episode of Imma Sculpted. I know it's been a minute since the last episode, but my day job and other life shenanigans have been determined to smack the clay right out my hands. But I'm back at it now, and today we will be taking a look at a commission piece I just finished, the subject of which is the Soul of Cinder from Dark Souls 3. I'm starting off here the same way as most of my sculpts, with this simple wooden base, flexible wire for the armature, and oven-baked clay adhesive to help bond the clay to the structure. Clay glue. Just think of it as clay glue. This also helps prevent air from getting trapped between the wire and the clay. When that happens, the parts I'm adding here for the arms and legs will try to squirm all up and down the wire, and it will bring you sadness. Adding small amounts of clay as I go has just been a system that works well for me. You don't have to get everything perfect, you just need to create the basic shape of your subject that you can later go back and add details on top of. And remember, if you pick a subject that's wearing shoes, then you ain't gotta sculpt no toes. But for me, I will often pick things to sculpt that I know I'm bad at so I can practice. Doing the parts that you're bad at is the only way to get not bad. And you can watch videos and tutorials like mine, which will definitely help, but you still need to get in there and get the practice under your belt. You will be surprised how much progress you'll make if you push yourself. Here I'm just adding some basic armor and buckle details. I can come back later and polish them up better. When sculpting things like armor, you really need to get your edges as clean and sharp as you can. I'm using a tiny ballpoint stylus to make the chainmail he's wearing. It's very tedious, but once it's painted, the result is definitely worth the time and effort. When you're sculpting clothing, like my boy's skirt thing here, you can blend in strips of clay to make the folds in the material. You can also use a tool with a soft silicone tip to add more textures. For the belt and sash around his waist, I rolled the clay through a pasta maker I bought. Then I just cut it down into the size strips I needed with an X-Acto knife and a straight edge. If you can afford one, I recommend getting yourself a pasta maker. It's perfect for making flat sheets of clay as well as a nice fettuccine. I've been using this wire mesh more and more with the sculpts I've done recently. It helps to give structure to the thinner pieces, which are usually more prone to sag or break off, and it's very easy to cut and bend it into whatever shape I need. This time around, I decided to sculpt the head separately and attach it later once it's been baked and completely cured. I actually ended up sculpting 3 heads and then went with the one that didn't look completely ghastly. The benefit to baking the head first is that you won't muck up any of the details while attaching it like you would if the clay were still soft. I went ahead and added some more detail to the armor before attaching the head. Doing it this way just gave me more room to work with without his big old noggin in my way. You know? There's that wire mesh again. I needed to use it here for the cape so that I didn't make a complete mesh of the whole thing. See, another benefit here is that I can cut it to the shape I want with just a pair of scissors once the thing is attached. Any amount of small detail you can add to your piece is really going to pay off dividends with the finished product. It may not seem like much, but a buckle here or a strap there can go a long way towards bringing your subject to life. I did the hands the same way I did the head, and then I sculpted and baked them before attaching them to the arms. Hands are hard enough to do without having to worry about accidentally bumping the fingers and messing them up. I had to sculpt a number of different weapons for this piece that simply didn't make the editing cut. Mostly just because of time, but also because it's super boring. Alright, show of hands. Who here used to watch Batman the Animated Series? Well, when it came time to paint this, I used the same philosophy that the brilliant animators of that show did. You see, all of the drawings were done on black paper to give the show the darker look that it's known for. Since Soul of Cinder is supposed to be burnt and smoldering, I started with a completely black base coat to build the other colors on top of. This is particularly effective with metallic acrylic paints because they will take on the tone of whatever color they're painted over, especially when applied in a thin coat. As you can see here, even the brown I use for the leather takes on a darker tone when painted over the black. And then I set them on fire! I used red, orange, and finally yellow layered on top of each other to finish this paint job off with some flames. And there you have it, my good friends. Soul of Cinder, Dark Souls 3. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give a like, subscribe, check me out on Instagram, buy my stuff on Etsy, build temples in my honor. You know the score. I will see you all in the next episode of Imma Sculpt It. See ya.
Don't tell anyone! It's a secret!